Migrating rules should be weakened for vets, web designers, psychologists, and architects of external Europe, by the government advisors include told. The Migrating Consultative Board says those jobs should be on a listing designed at connection gaps in the UK labour marketplace. Jobs that do the lack invasion listing, SALT, are efficaciously permitted to leap the queuing for workers of external the Europe Economical Region. The main overview told down there as necessary to be a big extension of jobs on the listing. By these proposals, the listing would lid 9% of jobs in the labour marketplace, compared in about 1% now. Just workers of the Europe Economical Region, EEA, that includes all EU countries consisting the UK, as Norway, Iceland and Liechtenstein, delight liberty of motion, travelling and work during the region out of visas. The present schema for top-skilled non-EEA migrants, named as a Level 2 visa, allows 20,700 top-skilled workers in the UK every year. If a job name is turned on in the Sol It tool down there is, recent year, Household Secretariat Sajid Javid authorized the Migrating Consultative Board, Macintosh, to hold a complete overview of the listing following the Level 2 general cap was strike, resultant in a quantity of occupations creature rejected places. The MAC suggested down there should be a complete overview of the lack invasion institutional arrangement one day it's precise which the next migration framework will see love. The government has previous told how following Brexit, human beings of the EU should person the identical migration rules as those of in another place. Examples of professions on the listing involve, the Migrating Consultative Board, Macintosh, paper told how some occupations how were already list should be stretched to lid all roles during the class, consisting care practitioners, artists and civilian engineering personnel. Professor Alan Complete, MAC president, told, present's labour marketplace is really various to the one we discussed while the recent Sol was published in 2013. How is why we include suggested expansion the Sol to lid a band of occupations in public health, data and mechanical engineering fields. Some jobs not now on the listing that the MAC says should be added are professional therapists, and speaking and tongue therapists. In Scotland, it says the listing should be widened to involve chemistry scientists and engineering personnel in the nuke production, and Scotch Gaelic teaching staff. Creature on the lack invasion listing has essential pragmatic benefits. It removes several of the hoops patronage include to leap via to hire workers of external the EEA, such as possessing to promote for UK personnel, and makes it more profitable and facilitating for across the sea personnel to come and potential settle down in Britain. But the listing serving else feature too much. It's a an alarm signal chime though, to by the government, production and the formation segment on the areas wherever the UK has a skills deficiency. Several of the labour marketplace shortages, especially in mechanical engineering and public health, existed for many decades and are obviously receive worst. It begs severe questions on the number and quality assurance of engineering and professional learning in the nation, if the order mix of topic is creature coded by universities and colleges, and if quite mind has been taking into account to planner for the length term as necessary of the economics. Nobody needing to go to the UK of external the EU, as Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein and Switzerland, to job or research as necessary to use for one of a quantity of visas. These band of Level 1, canned for investors and extraordinary ability, to Level 5 visas for brief-term volunteer and education programs. The two largest overall are the Level 2 qualified employee visas and Level 4 undergraduate visas. Now, no Level 3, inexperienced labor, visas are creature taking into account of. Several of these visas enable human beings to use to give dependents such as family and partners. Visas job on a points-based framework and the criteria got stricter in latter year. For sample, for a Level 2 skilled qualified employee visa, human beings now requirement to be pay at low £30,000 to use, up nearly £10,000 of 2011. Human beings get more than points for high salaries or if their job is on the listing of lack occupations. Largest visas go in some facility, consisting expertise of British, the requirement for a sponsorship and assenting not to complaint benefits for a time of period.